you seen Star Wars?
So this was kind of interesting to me because last week the Disney Gallery The Mandalorian episode came out, and I thought it was good. I didn't make a review video on it because it was really just a documentary on a couple minute scene with Luke showing up at the end, and while that's cool, there's not really much to talk about. But surprisingly, this clip of Dave Filoni is what really caught people's attention, so let's take a listen.
You know, we had a whole discussion about it would be very easy to just make him so over the top skilled, but I was like, you know, what's interesting is he's had training, but I don't know who's been teaching him sword fight training lately. So he had to have a style that was better than what we saw in Jedi, but fundamentally still have the same tree of sword fighting technique. And his technique and Ahsoka's technique should be very different. And technically, she's had vastly more training than he ever has. She's actually his senior, which is, I think, difficult for people to remember because of when these characters were created, right?
Now, a lot of people actually took issue with this, and I'm not going to say like a majority of the fandom or people were really upset with it, but a lot of people kind of gave a questioning look in this quote right here, talking about Ahsoka having more experience than Luke and them having different styles. And I think that some people took that as Dave Filoni saying that, oh, Ahsoka is better than Luke Skywalker as a lightsaber duelist, and she may well be, or that she is just better at being a Jedi than he is because she has vastly more experience than him. And when it comes to life experience, when it comes to taking on the dark side of the Force and the Sith, I would argue that Ahsoka does have more experience, not because of her dealing with the Clone Wars, but she also fought Vader just like Luke has, and she's also dealt with other dark side users like Darth Maul and Azaz Ventress, and maybe even, the Sith Inquisitors as well when it came to Star Wars Rebels. So she does have a lot of experience as a Jedi and as a Padawan, and so it's not surprising to me that Filoni says this, but it is surprising that some people are kind of caught off guard by this or have taken issue with it, because I think what makes Luke a very interesting Jedi is that he took this approach that was very unconventional to the Jedi Order, but he still wanted to teach himself after he became a Jedi. Don't forget, Luke didn't become a Jedi until the end of Return of the Jedi. A lot of people have this weird misconception that, oh, like Luke's a full-fledged Jedi and he's done with his training at the beginning of Return of the Jedi. Oh, not at all. Not at all. He comes in and I think he tells Yoda that he's a Jedi or something like that, and I think Yoda even mentions something about him not being a Jedi yet, and that he will become a Jedi once he faces Vader again. And after he does that, he turns Vader down and he says, I am a Jedi like my father before me. That's when he truly comes in as a Jedi. And I think that he has a lot of experience that's pivotal to a Jedi, and the experiences and the trials and tribulations that go into that, mainly taking on his father, who is the Sith Lord, and then defying the Emperor, who's right by him. That's a lot. That's a lot for someone like Luke to take on at such a young age, and at least their Force journey. But I don't think Luke and Ahsoka are that different from each other in terms of being a Force user. I mean, they're both, of course, the light side, and Luke's a Jedi, and Ahsoka is no longer a Jedi, but I think she still represents the Jedi, and what they're supposed to be is a lot better than the Jedi of her time during the prequel era, and Luke, of course, kind of, in my opinion, stands above the rest. I think he is probably the best Jedi of all time, but him being the best Jedi doesn't mean he's the most experienced, doesn't mean he's the best duelist of all time, and I really like that Dave talks about in this how they approach to his lightsaber style, because he really did have to either teach himself or train by himself. He most likely went the route of Rey with the sequels, where he likely studied himself. He studied the Jedi text, he studied the lightsaber forms through the Jedi text, as opposed to Ahsoka, who was trained by Anakin Skywalker, which is also weird, because if people are saying that Ahsoka isn't better than Luke because Luke has Anakin's blood in him, well, Ahsoka actually got attention from Anakin. Anakin actually taught Ahsoka how to be a Jedi and taught her how to fight larger opponents. He probably taught her 4 and 5, something that really relies on defense, whereas Luke kind of, it seems in my opinion, when Luke is fighting, he's not really relying on defense. He's relying on fluidity and allowing his opponents to make errors and just capitalize on those kind of errors. And so Luke likely isn't going to be a master in all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, at least as related to the prequel era of Jedi, because those Jedi had people to duel with, they had people to spar with. Luke doesn't have that same resources, so because of that, he's going to have to do things either more conventional, like very old style of Jedi training, ancient style, or he's going to have to find his own way. So it makes sense that their styles are completely different. In terms of whose is better, it really just depends on when they're fighting and who they are fighting. When it comes to who's fighting Darth Vader, think it's pretty clear that Luke is going to have a better chance at defeating Darth Vader than Ahsoka Tano. But when it comes to someone like Azaz Ventress, I would argue that Ahsoka has a better opportunity of beating her than Luke would. Just because Azaz is, very nimble, she can move very fast, and Luke, at least when it comes to Mara Jade in the expanded universe, had a problem with that for some time. So it really is a unique way to think about these two Jedi, because they are so different, but in a lot of ways they're the same. They have a very unique relationship with Anakin Skywalker, one being his apprentice, the other being his son. They have a very interesting relationship with the Force, where one of them is not a Jedi, but still aligns with the light and kind of refuses the dark side in any element. But then you have Luke Skywalker, where in Return of the Jedi, it seems like he was kind of edging towards the dark side a little bit. I mean, don't forget, he was choking out those guards at the beginning of Return of the Jedi at Jabba's palace. He was using that, which is dark side stuff. And so it seemed like Luke may have walked the line, maybe never intentionally going to the dark side, but maybe have walked the line of being closer to the dark side than Ahsoka was, which is very curious. I wonder if these two will ever meet. If they do meet, it is going to be a very powerful scene. It's going to be a very emotional scene. I wouldn't be surprised if Dave Filoni somehow pulled that off into the Ahsoka Tano series, or if they do a Mandalorian season 3 or 4, they would probably do it in like season 4, of having her and Luke come together or something. I really have no idea how they would pull that off, and I think at this moment it should probably be best avoided, just because it's too much at the moment. I think that's too soon, but I am curious on the future of Luke Skywalker with this new deepfake technology. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about Ahsoka and Luke and how they compare as Jedi? Do you think one of them's a better Jedi than the other? Because I personally would definitely argue that Luke is the better Jedi overall, but in terms of skill, maybe Ahsoka has a more wide range of skills than Luke does, mostly due to her vast experience and life experience that she's had under the Jedi Order. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this debate that's been going on in the fandom for the past few days? I'm Star Wars Only. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. It does help out the channel. And if you want to see more like this, subscribe and stay up to date on the latest news in Star Wars. I'm Star Wars Only. I'll see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.